Before we get into asynchronous editing, we're going to fix this up. This looks like complete shite. So let's make that not shite. Let's make that good. And I'm not going to go too spectacular. Let's just go like this. Entry listing. All right, let's start with that. Let's work from the top. Entry listing. And we're going to make this width of 800 pixels. We're going to make this margin, blah, blah, blah. You know the routine. Margin top, also 20 pixels. And this way we're going to just kind of move it to the center. I think we should go 900. Give it a little bit more space. Entries, async table. I think we have do we have one? Yeah, we have Poppins. Poppins will put them to sleep. Let's go. Let's see. Entry list. H2. Why would I call that the list? Well, whatever. I don't know, wait, this needs to be its own, hold on. This needs to be its own div. Entry header. That, because entry list is something completely different, I think. Or maybe it's not, hold on. One. This didn't get closed out. My God, I'm a tragedy. Let's see. If I were to do this, let's sort of. Let's do it like this so I see what I'm doing. Okay, that's good. And each one of these is a div. And I still have table in there. Get rid of that. So this, let's close that. So this is closed here. This is closed here. This is closed here. And should be okay. So so wait, this is closed where? This is closed here. Okay, so yeah, this was already, let's get that. Too many div closures. Okay, so I don't know why I called it entry list, but we'll call it entry list. And entry list is just the heading. So let's go text align center. Let's get a little stylish. Let's go background color black, color white, and why not put some text shadow. Let's put some interior text shadow. Give it a little pop. And we'll go like that. Then we'll go entry list H2, font family, Poppins, Arial, Helvetica. You're going to be so mad at me when I show you how long it might take to do an update. Font family, and we'll go padding 5 pixels. Let's see what monstrosity I've created. Oh, that looks so hot. How about that, huh? Isn't that gorgeous? Now let's do, I don't know where my inner shadow is, but entry heading is now something that we have to, entry heading is something that we have to do. We have to go display, inline, and we have to go padding, 5 pixels. And what I can also do is I can do a border, 1 pixel solid RGB. And we'll do 50, 50, 50, 49, something like that. should inline it. Did not. All right, hold on. Entry heading. Yeah, this is just one div. Yeah, these are H2s. Let's not make them H2s then. Let's make them span. Oh no, wait, wrong one. This is fine. Let's not make these H2. Let's make these spans. Headings. Because I want them to be inline. Even though spans, again, they don't really work great. Now, typically, when it comes to edits, I don't need this. Let's get rid of that, actually. Well, no, I can do that. I can go margin top. Pixels, margin bottom. 10 pixels. So it doesn't look like it's like that. There, that's good. And we'll go headings. We'll say font size 16 pixels, and we'll say margin right 900,554 is to, we'll say margin right 200 pixels. Well, no, we'll say margin right. See how that. I mean, this is going to be a mess, but I might as well just make a freaking grid. I might as well just make a grid. Okay, so span class equals entry stuff. But when it comes to edits, we usually have to put in a form, right? And it deletes as well. Now delete is completely different, because delete we can just do a button press. It's not really a big deal. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I want you to see it. I want you to see it better. That's that. And then we're going to go up here. And entry stuff and entry stuff. But again, grids are kind of weird after a certain size. That's why I was using a table. Certain amount of entries, entry stuff, entry edits, entry stuff, entry delete. Okay. Now I don't think that width is going to work, but let's try it out. Stuff. And we'll say the width is pixels. I could probably do that too. I could just say the width of headings. And we'll go entry, edit. And I'm going to keep that open for now because these are going to be links. Or they're going to be anchor tags. Just do that. See, it doesn't really do anything. Saying width. We're going to probably have to do, margins. Which sucks because it's going to be all squished up. That's going to look like crap. Yeah, this looks like crap. You can't really see anything. No, whatever. So, see that, like, this is the problem with margins, is when you have like this. So now it all makes it all messy. I just wanted you to kind of take a better look at it, but whatever. So we know that we can do this, and we can go 55, 5, 5, 5, and it'll just pop up. But now we want to be able to edit it, and when it comes to editing, we are going to make this an anchor tag, and we're going to href it JavaScript, and we're going to give it an onClick function of edit entry. Now, the thing about that is we need a parameter. We need an argument. That argument is going to be, as we've done before, the ID. The ID, in this case, is represented by MKID. So we're going to put MKID in there. We're also going to put that in here. JavaScript. OnClick equals delete entry. And the reason is because if we don't tell it what ID we're trying to delete, it's going to either delete or update all of them, or it's going to give you an error message. Now, that's all well and good for sheep on here. If I were to hover over this, or if I were to say in function edit entry EEID, if I were to alert EEID on the click, I would get the ID to pop up. Same thing if I did that with the delete. I don't know why I have to keep doing these hard refreshes. And I'm just naming the IDs or the placeholders after the function itself. So like EEID is edit entry ID, DEID is delete entry ID. So if I were to do that with the deletes, same thing. I get the IDs and the edits and the deletes. Only problem is if I add another one of these, here's a new one. Everything changes to not be a link, and even if I did change it, it wouldn't. What ID am I supposed to put in there? You know what I mean? So let's go over here and let's change this to href equals JavaScript. And this is when things get a little bit irritating. Equals, because you have to keep doing this over and over again. That's why you want functions. Oops. So this in itself can just be a tutorial, because not just from the standpoint of me editing, but or styling, but just this alone. And as you can see, this is why you want to really think about creating better classes and everything to get all this stuff done, because when you use a framework, the framework is supposed to make some of this a lot less painful But even if I were to change that, and now make it more seamless, it's saying undefined because we don't have an ID in there, and now all of them are going to say undefined because they don't have IDs. So what exactly are we supposed to do with this? Well, I mean, you know, the easy way is to fetch all, put the IDs in there. That would be the easiest way to do it since we've already put it in the table, and that's one of the ingenious ways of doing things the way I've done it, is that I can easily just go like this. Because, oh, I'm sorry, GA. Where's GA? Because I've had you update the table before you sent it out. Now, if you were to do the JavaScript, see, this is one of the reasons why I don't like to use the JavaScript to update these lists or whatever, to make it appear seamless. But now I have an ID in there. However, if there was a case where you needed to get an ID to update an entry this way or in this manner, or when we move forward, there is a way that you can actually spit out an ID if you wanted to do things the way I was showing you before, where we would make that variable and it would be the inner HTML and everything. And that would be called new ID equals fetch async. I think it would be last insert ID. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Last insert ID. Make sure I got it right. Last insert ID. Okay. And make sure I got the right one, baby. Let's see. And what this does is, and if you want, you can just do one of these and go new ID. Now what this does is, and we can go alert, send info to. And what this should do is, it should get the most recently inserted okay, let me just try that again. It should, last insert ID. PDO. I forgot what, yeah, it is last insert, but I forgot, let me see. This says, last insert ID. So I must be, am I spelling it wrong? Or am I camel casing it wrong? Last insert ID. It should be okay. Okay, so yeah, all right, I got the wrong thing. Because we're actually, it's the PDF, it's the table. It's the connection table, and it says 0. That's not good. But it should be 15. Hold on. Let me see. I haven't done this in a while, so just bear with me for a sec. Well, I put it after the execute. I could go like this. Let's do this. Because, let me see. $16. Okay, so that's what it was. I did it in the wrong order. So anyway, like what we just did was we took this object and we prepared it and executed it. We put it in this variable. But we took this object and we prepared and executed it. We inserted it into the async table. And now what we just did was right after we inserted it, we said with that connection object, get the last insert ID. Get the last ID that you got that was inserted into the table. And that's what it spit out. It spit out 16. So I just wanted to show you that last insert. We're not going to do that, obviously. We don't want that. And do it after the insert if you wanted to get that. I'll show you when that would be useful to us, when we might actually need that. But before I got into the edit and everything, I wanted to kind of fix this up a little bit, make it easier to see. And I wanted to show you that. If you were to do something that required, oh yeah, we're running over time here. If you were to do something that required, we don't need to do that because, again, we're smarter than the average bear, and we were able to insert it and then just spit it out based on everything that we got after we already inserted the entry into the table. I hope that I'm saying this that's understandable. When you prepare the insert, right, you're telling it, clean it up, and then put a new entry into the table. We do that first in this circumstance, where we're just displaying things that we put in the table. Then we said, after you've already done that, now get what you put in there, fetch it, and then send it out to the JavaScript so that we can have a seamless update. If there's a table where you just need to get the ID for certain relationships, table relations like we were talking about before, or you wanted to update it seamlessly through the JavaScript, you would need that last inserted ID. So you would get the last ID of the update, the insert, and you would spit it out any which way you wanted. So I just wanted to show you that. I realized while I was doing it, oh yeah, last insert ID. Let me show you how to do that. Because you may want to do your table updates or your entry updates differently than I did. But if you want to do the way I did, you don't have to worry about that because we already took care of that here. So I just want to let you know that when I come back, we're going to do the update and the delete asynchronously, and then we're going to move on to other little tidbits, and we will do more complex updates and classes. I'll see you then.